We got our Russian dressing. This is tasting delicious. Wow. Did I fool him? Welcome to Mythical Kitchen, where dreams become food. A portion of today's video is sponsored by Bright Cellars, but more on them later. All right, this one goes out to all our neighbors in the Great White North up there, because Mythical Kitchen, we have been ignoring the Canadian additions to the culinary world for far too long. Never before have we featured a Nanaimo bar. A single tiger tail has never been inside this kitchen. Not once have these hallowed halls seen a blueberry grunt. But today, all that changes, because we're making poutine. We're doing it Mythical Kitchen style. A lot of Canadians probably be pretty mad about this one. Sorry, not sorry. I'll be breaking this down into 3 easy steps. You can snag the time codes right there. We also got a full written recipe down in the description. You can also check out the latest episode of our podcast hosted by me and Nicole. It's called A Hot Dog is a Sandwich. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. Let's get cooking, eh? Remember how I said Canadians are gonna be mad? Well, we're starting our poutine with making our own fresh-made corned beef. Let me explain here, So poutine, if you are not familiar, is the Canadian delicacy that are French fries covered in a deeply darkened brown beef gravy and cheese curds. They're like the squeaky cheese curds, almost similar to fresh mozzarella, and a lot of people say it is not poutine if it has meat in it, it has other stuff. We're gonna break almost every single rule of poutine. Canada, come fight me. Anyways, so we're making our corned beef. We are doing a Reuben-inspired poutine. Reuben is a combination of corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, and Russian dressing, one of my favorite things in the world, and I believe it is my birthright as a Jewish American to eat this style of poutine. So we're adding salt to a brine. We're also adding coriander seeds. We got a bunch of aromatics, juniper berries, and some clove. Corned beef ain't got no corn in it. A little bit of false advertising there. It comes from like a weird German mistranslation. It's essentially just like pickled beef that is pickled with nitrate salt, AKA pink curing salt, AKA Prague powder, which to me sounds like a really cool improvised weapon. So we're gonna add that nitrate powder into there. All that's gonna do, it's gonna help give the beef a nice pink tinge. It also is just going to deepen the preservation of it. So like nitrate salts are literally just there to stop bacterial growth on meat, but now it gives it that tasty little pink snap. Peppercorns. We got a lot of stuff going in here. We're adding mustard seeds to it. We got a little bit of ground ginger and then some whole allspice berries. We got a cinnamon stick. Jason Kidd, almost. We're adding a cinnamon stick and we got a couple bay leaves going in there and now a little bit of brown sugar just for sweetness. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take just our big old giant beating stick and we're gonna add that to our, add that to the pot? Like that's an ingredient? Like we're gonna let the metal boil out, gives the beef a nice flavor. That's how they did it in Cork, Ireland back in the 18th century. Trevor sent me a link to a really fantastic article about the history of corned beef. Salt tax was lower in Ireland than it was England, so all the corned beef manufacturing ended up in Ireland. Thank you, Trevor. All right, so we're just gonna get all of that salt and all that sugar dissolved in the brine right there, and then we're gonna take all of our ice. This is a brisket, AKA breast of cow. You got chicken breast, you got cow breast, basically. It kind of like, rests right there on the cow. Really fantastic. Why am I holding these like that? They were fine on the table. The camera can see it all. Anyways, I'm gonna take that big old cow breasts and put that in there. And then I'm gonna dump all this ice in there just to cool it down because we don't want to cook the beef right now. And then the most important part of this is you gotta shimmy it. This is shaken corned beef. Actually, shaken beef is a great Vietnamese dish. ADD's firing today, boys. We're gonna pop this. We're corning our beef. So we're gonna let this sit for a minimum of 5 days, a maximum of like, I think kind of forever. I mean, probably don't do it for more than like 2 weeks. We're not trying to dry age this beef. We're gonna let it sit in the fridge. We did ours for about 7 days. So let that happen, let the corning process take over, and then I'll see you in like a week. All right, now that we've corned some beef, I want to let you know that this portion of today's video is sponsored by Bright Cellars. Bright Cellars is a monthly wine subscription service that helps you discover the wine you love conveniently shipped directly to your door. Now, because I'm all about discovering flavors that are new to me, I love the way Bright Cellars features varieties from around the globe, and you can learn about them from their handy-dandy education cards that are included with every wine. I mean, so much of enjoying wine can feel like a snobby club with rules and jargon that's hard to understand, so I can really get behind how Bright Cellars breaks it down to easy-to-recognize tasting notes, suggested pairings, best serving temperature, and origin. Now, whether you're a wine pro or a novice who needs a little bit of nudging, taking Bright Cellars' 7-question quiz is a great way to analyze your taste profile and find wines that you're guaranteed to love. And get this! If you don't like one of the bottles in your box, Bright Cellars will replace it for free, no problem. Now, I'm super excited to try this here Chenin Blanc in Dulu, which just came in my latest Bright Cellars box. It's a very cool South African wine that's where my whole family's from, and I love that the card specifies it's great for brunch on the patio, because you know how much I love my before noon wine. And now Bright Cellars is giving you 50% off your first 6-bottle box. Click the link in the description to take the quiz, get started, and discover the wine that you love. Thanks again to Bright Cellars for sponsoring that portion of today's video. Now, back to the beef. Hey, congratulations, you've taken over a week to make a plate of fries. So we got the corned beef out of here. I'm just gonna jump in and fish it out. Ooh, that's cold. And we're gonna give it a 1, a 2, a how do you do? We're gonna slap that into a deep casserole dish right here. So we still want all the aromatics in here. You think about corned beef, you think about all those lovely flavors, the juniper, the allspice, the mustard. We're gonna take the brine. We don't wanna use this as our braising liquid because it is hecka salty. I didn't say hecka. I've started talking incredibly Mormonly since doing this cooking show. We're gonna strain off all of our aromatics in here. We're gonna get some fresh water braising. So we're gonna take that, you got all that mustard seed, all that cinnamon in there. We're just gonna scatter this across our beefs. Now, we gotta get some root veg in there too, because we are eventually going to be making a dark gravy out of this corned beef to go on our poutine. So we're gonna scatter some celery in there. We got a fair amount of onions. Onion is French for onion. All right, we got a little bit of carrot. Then now we got just a little bit more salt, just to season up that liquid, because that's gonna create our gravy. And then we're gonna palm heel strike a couple garlics, so rapid fire, 2-hand action. Ice! And then we're gonna get between 3 and 5 cloves of garlic on the floor. Sorry. Now we're just gonna pop that into our, what is it called, a beef loaf. Then we're gonna take some fresh water, pop that on top. All we're gonna do, we wanna cover it with enough water to like barely submerge. It's not quite a braise, not quite a slow boil. And then we're gonna wrap it in just a whole lot of tin foil. We're gonna cook this low and slow. We're going 6 hours at 300 degrees. So if you thought that waiting a week to make fries was bad, at this point, like the extra 6 hours, what does that really do to you? So, pop all this tin foil over it, into the oven, 6 hours she goes. Occupy yourself, pick up a new hobby. Have you ever done crochet, scrimshaw? Can't talk enough about how much scrimshaw changed my life. That was a lie, I'm sorry. I've never scrimshawed a single thing. Is this leaking? Am I leaking? Uh-oh, oh God, just put it in the oven, who cares? I'm gonna go ahead and take the corned beef out of the oven. It's been 7 days and 6 hours since we started making these French fries. Annalise has been slowly killing me like death by 1,000 cuts with puns that only half make sense if you slow it down and turn on the subtitles. So thank you, Annalise, for that, for improving my life. Let's take a look at this here corned beef. This looks all nice and squishy. Nice and squishy is what we're going for. You wanna poke your corned beef. What you're looking for is to see if you can poke it. I can. So, we gotta make a gravy now. This is the bones of the poutine. There is no poutine without gravy. We're gonna use all that braising liquid from the corned beef. Honestly, if you give it a good huff, you're getting all the aromatics in there. You're getting that allspice, that cinnamon. That smells freaking out. It just smells good, man. My dad used to make us corned beef and cabbage like all year round. We'd buy like 50 pounds of corned beef around March because it was real cheap, and then we just keep it in the freezer. So I absolutely love this dish. Right now, we're gonna make a bit of a dark roux. This isn't like a dark roux like the Cajun dark roux. We're not taking it that deep that you start a gumbo with, where you like really burn the flour, but we are trying to get a fair amount of toast on it. So typically if you're making a cream sauce, right, you want like what's called a blonde roux, which is you're mixing the flour with the butter just until it's like nice and kind of rich enough to add the milk in there with the flour being cooked. What we're gonna do is we're gonna crank the heat up on this and we're gonna stir it continually until it becomes super brown. That way, when we add all of this corned beef braising liquid to it, it should turn a nice deep rich color with a deep rich flavor. Now we gotta wait a little bit more. More scrimshaw. Someone give me some whale bones and a little etcher. I got a scene between a sailor and a manatee I want to scrimshaw. All right, so I've been stirring this for just about 10 to 12 minutes and you see it's got this like awesome, I don't know, chestnut brown color. That looks really fantastic. It smells all nice and fragrant. So now I'm gonna take some of this corned beef liquid, slap that all over, get this burning liquid pot over here. I'm just gonna dip down my ladle into this, get some broth, then we're gonna add it to this and stir it up. And you see it should act like a roux and just make it, I say it should act like a roux, it is a roux. And then that's just gonna make it nice and thick. Just gonna add liquid gradually. You see it's becoming a lovely color right there. You can always add a little bit of cornstarch to thicken it, but we do have all that roux in there as like a nice paste. Now, one sec, give me a second. I'm gonna chop up some corned beef and get it in there. I didn't plan on this. Wow, didn't work. Here we go, this is a smarter way to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna drain some of the beef juice a little bit. That's some valuable beef juice though. Then we start hacking into this. You also wanna cut across the grain on the corned beef. Give it a try. Oh God, it's really good. Oh yeah. That's good stuff, man. I mean, honestly, this is absolute, aces corned beef. It's cooked to perfection. All the aromatics are in there. It is super, super salty. There we go. We just want a little bit of meat in this. We don't want to go like, this isn't a meat dish. This is a fries dish. This is poutine at the end of the day. So I'm just gonna chop up a little bit of this corned beef just to get some texture, some extra flavor in there. We're gonna add this to the gravy. Another 5 minutes. It's gonna tighten up. And let's put our stamp on this poutine. I got the Annalise disease now. Depending on when you joined in on the video, we're on day 8 or 9 of making a plate of French fries, what would sell for $9 as an appetizer before your normal meal comes. Welcome back. We got stuff. Check this out. This is a big old brown corned beef gravy. Super excited about that. We got French fries. These were made using the exclusive Cook Food Good method that's seen in the Cook Food Good series. Not a ton of people watch it. We're still very proud of the work that we do. But now we got to make our Russian dressing. So I'm gonna start dumping a bunch of little bowls into a bigger bowl while explaining what is in the little bowls and how that comes together in the larger bowl. You've seen a cooking show. Kind of describes most of them. This is mayonnaise. It is white. That's all I got for that one. Russian dressing, very typical on a Reuben, very big in delis. I love getting a plate of latkes and then asking for Russian dressing on the side. That is my absolute favorite guilty pleasure thing. I used to end up at a lot of Jewish delis at like 2 in the morning in various states of being. We had some pickles in there. We got some very finely diced red onion as well. And I would get the chopped liver plate, I'd get latkes, and I'd get a pastrami Reuben, and then I would just mash that all together in 2 cups of black coffee. And that is the ultimate deli order. Maybe a condition if I'm feeling extra frosty. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of beet juice just for color. It's gonna make it nice and pink. A little bit of tomato paste. Ketchup is typically not in a Russian dressing, but a lot of people think it is. So I'm adding tomato paste in there. A lot of people use chili sauce, which is like this old school condiment that almost nobody has anymore, really similar to ketchup. And then black pepper, paprika. So then we're gonna add vinegar in there, and then I'm just gonna stir this up. This is gonna be the nice condiment to our poutine. We got our Russian dressing. This is tasting delicious. Wow. Did I fool them? All right, we're gonna take these fries. Again, these fries, we added them to cold oil and then we just heated it up. Link in the below, link in the thing. And I'm gonna kind of like take some of these here Jarlsberg cheese cubes, which Jarlsberg is great, man. It's like the most Swiss taste in Swiss. And then, oh, now we're pissing off the Swiss people. They're gonna come in there and be like, in Switzerland, we just call it cheese. And we're like, I get it. So we're gonna add all these cheese cubes to it. We wanna kind of keep them whole, but get them in the oven so they melt in that residual heat, and then the gravy's just gonna blanket it. Yeah, some thick logs of fries. Shh, quiet. All right, we're gonna pop this in the oven, 500 degrees. Just like 5 minutes just to get that cheese sweating, and then I'll be back, you'll see. You'll see me, I'll be around. Do you think any other food tuber chews as much as I do while they're trying to host the cooking show? Half the show is me eating food and just being like, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna take this out of the oven. Oh, this is actually looking exactly how I wanted. We still have like big old pockets of cheese. That's something I love about poutine. You don't just get like the blankets of cheese on there. You get those big old fatty pockets of curds, except we got Jarlsberg. Seriously, big Jarlsberg cheese fan. Now I'm gonna take all that brown corned beef gravy and just slather that all over the fries. Yeah, here we go. Oh yes, it looks like dog food, that's okay. Now I'm gonna take some little pockets of sauerkraut. Sauerkraut, one of my favorite absolute condiments. I mean, it's essentially kind of pickled fermented cabbage. I'm just gonna kind of dot this around the whole situation. You're gonna get all that acid cutting through the fat of that beef right there. And I also love Jarlsberg because it's not a salty cheese, right? Like we have a lot of salt in that gravy coming from the sauerkraut, coming from all over this plate, frankly. All right, we got the sauerkraut on there, and now I'm gonna take some of this Russian dressing that may or may not come out of this small tube. It's like trying to pee out a kidney stone. There we go, get that Russian dressing all over there. I wanna suck it out of the hole, but I shouldn't. Do it. I got it was a pickle. I'm taking the cap off. All right, great, I got that Russian dressing. Now I'm gonna take a couple pickled mustard seeds, you know, for garnish. We haven't garnished this enough. Shh, I need to concentrate. Now we're gonna take some green things, you know, just for kind of a plausible deniability that there's some color on this. So here we go, like get some little greens on there. This is fresh dill, goes a lot to be on French fries sometimes, but other times as well. What I was saying is dill go good with pickles. A couple of these little bad boys there. This is like a surrealist painting. This is like when Dali was all whacked out of his mind and he was just like, mountains are melting, and they're like, well, I'm sorry? That's what this is. This is like a plate of food that's just been thrown in like a dishwasher. Well, I'm pretty proud of that. That looks honestly good as heck. Let's eat this damn thing. I can't wait to dig in. Was that natural? I feel insane with this on. I'm gonna give this a try, then we're gonna spork Nicole. Oh yeah, get all of it in there. I got a nice cheese curd. I'm gonna have to throat the fry to get to the cheese. Honestly, I mean, this is really incredible. I can't wait to spork my friend Nicole, fellow tribes person. Would you like to eat this here poutine?
I sure do. That looks so
Okay, where do you want to bite? You wanted me to go from the middle?
I mean, you are the master of whatever. Oh my God, Josh.
Hold on, I got it. No, Nicole, I got it.
No, that's too much. Josh,
Here.
I can't do that.
This is good, Nicole.
I hate you.
No, you don't. Just you go, there's a fry. Get the tip of the fry in. Wait, I got some of that. Hold on, let me get a clean fry.
Can I have some I just want some sauerkraut.
Yeah, I'll get you a clean bite of kraut.
Is that your pinky finger?
yeah, take it off the kraut pinky.
These French fries are so fluffy. That delicious corned beef flavor is just married throughout the whole thing. That little pop of dill, that little pop of mustard really, really helps carry it. And that Russian dressing is really good.
It's the Russian dressing, right?
Can you give me a chunk of corned beef? Or try?
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Oh, no, you don't have to do all that. Oh my God, you're a monster.
I got it.
You're like Edward Scissorhands. You're
Josh
like
Word Sporker hands.
You don't have to do all that.
I got it.
Josh. Defeats the purpose of the fork.
You don't have to eat it.
Are you sure?
You can if you want to.
Oh, there's a little bite for me. Delicious.
Nicole, thank you so much, and thank you all so much for stopping by the Mythical Kitchen. We got new episodes for you every week. We got new episodes of our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Hit us up on Instagram at Mythical Kitchen with pictures of your mythical dishes on our hashtag Dreams Become Food, just like Mark did. Mark made the barbecue mac and cheese crunch wrap literally the day that we dropped it on YouTube Shorts, hashtag RIP, and it looks incredible. He said it's his kid's favorite dish now, which really, that's what this is all about. I mean, making food for the people that you love. Nicole's getting that sweet under chin shot, eh? Anyways, thank you all. Be like Mark, post on our hashtag Dreams Become Food, submit in the link below to have a chance to be featured. Bye! It's an endoscopy. Oh no, that goes somewhere else. You can cook up your own feast while wearing the Mythical Kitchen apron, available now at mythical.com.